All right. What is going on, guys? Blacklisted Voice, episode 41, back after a little break. And we are here with Kannon Madden. Kannon, thank you for coming on.
Hi, Mom.
So we're going to get down to the tough questions today. Kannon, why have you not created a meme page yet?
Because if I create a meme page, I have to start from the beginning when I've already got 920 and growing followers who I can just give memes to as appreciation.
Well, what's your Instagram handle for people if they want to follow you and see pictures of the dog?
Everybody loves my dog, first of all. Brutus has an Instagram, actually, but it's at Kannon CM with a K. Okay. All lowercase.
If you were to make a meme page, what would it be?
Dragon Daddy.
Is that not taken?
No, I would take it from whoever owned it. I would buy it. I would offer them money. Internet money.
Oh, Bitcoin.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe Elon Musk would loan me some.
Sweet. Okay, so you want to chat about the safety of athletes at the CrossFit Games?
Yes. I think there is a way to test appropriately, find the fittest, while also being intelligent about it and not doing stupid crap like snatch max after event 12 or that Atlanta in 2020, the last event of the games. Like, just that was dumb. It was super stupid.
Why?
Because personally, I think that Atlanta was, what was it, a Murph playoff? It was supposed to be like Murph, but harder.
Yeah, I was like, well, in a weight vest.
It had pistols instead of air squats and all that jazz, weight vest and all that. Like 200 pistols, I think it was.
Yeah, it was like 300 pull-ups, 200 pistols, 100 handstand push-ups, right?
I don't know. I mean, but regardless, it was a ridiculous amount of volume, and that's like, I feel like there's a difference between testing fitness and testing volume tolerance, and I don't think that line is very clear in CrossFit because, I mean, who can handle the most volume does not mean who's the most fit, in my opinion.
You think that Atlanta is just a test of volume tolerance?
Well, I mean, Dave is just he's like, ooh, let me just get some shock value and give him the toughest, hardest games. Why does it have to be the toughest? Why can't it just be the most intelligently designed or most comprehensive? Why does it have to be, oh, this is the hardest games ever? Oh, no crap, it's hard. It's the CrossFit Games. It's going to be hard. It's hard. CrossFit is hard. So like, why, like, oh, the last event's going to be so tough. Yeah, okay, cool. I mean, that's a neat flex, but you're not out there doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just, like, all I'm thinking about is how destroyed their knee joints are, and they got to go do pistols in a weight vest at the end of the games with all that volume. Like, you want to talk about like a good, healthy, long career. Like, you're just asking to blow somebody out of the water because you wanted to be cool and edgy. I just disagreed with that. And then this year they had a snatch max after 12 events, after a pegboard. I think this tendon is called the UCL, I think. But when you do a pegboard, it's extremely strained. Like, a significant amount of pressure is on that tendon. And then you're going to have them go and snatch. So it's like you're setting them up for failure, and then you saw Brooke just blow her elbow out. And I might be partial because I have a blown out elbow with little screws in there, but still, because I feel her pain, which is another thing. Dave has never competed, so he doesn't know how it feels after day one or day two. He hasn't. He has not had that experience of being completely sore and having to go and compete at the highest level. Like, that frustrates me too.
It sounds like you have a vendetta against Dave then.
I don't have a vendetta against Dave. I think Dave can program intelligently, but I think he gets carried away, and he needs to have a group of people instead of just him and only him in control of programming for the season. He should have a board of like one or two retired games athletes like Khalifa or Ben Smith, I think, is retiring. I mean, that would be a phenomenal resource. And like, say, like, hey, guys, here's my blueprint of what I think the game should be. What are your thoughts? And then Blink could be like, hey, maybe don't do 200 weight vest pistols at the end of the game. See, it hurts then, you know?
See, the only issue that you get into with that is, so Wadapalooza did that in a way.
Yeah, I remember.
2020?
18 or 2017, yeah.
No, it was when I was still. Oh, yeah. So that
it was, yeah, and they had Misfit and Comp Train and all of them.
Right. But
the
issue that you get into is now you have athletes who are following those, competing at the games, and substantially blowing those workouts out of the water if they're following X program.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Like, there should be some sort, like, everyone has their bias in programming, whether they want to admit it or not. Like, everyone has biases in their programming, and it should be a committee that is programming for these events, because you have several different biases that are going to be put into the tests for that year. And I mean, we even see from, really from 2015 to now, a lot of the events have been very similar year after year after year. And there's, outside of the one at the ranch, there's pretty much guaranteed 3 to 4 miles of running at the CrossFit Games every single year. There was one outlier with the ranch last year in 2020. And then outside of that, it's 3 to 4 miles of running. Murph, there's some sort of retest from the year prior, or some sort of similar test from the year prior. There's some sort of odd object push of some sort. There's always some sort of rope climb workout. There's a lot.
He takes open workout and juices it up usually.
Yeah, one of the
like that double under thruster workout. He took that from the open and put it in the games and made it nastier. And then this year he had the wall walks and thrusters.
Yeah,
I guess that's nice.
That one's different. Yeah,
but he took a movement from the open and put it in the games, which I think does somewhat.
Yeah. So there are some newer, like, different workouts at the games, but it would just be fun to see back when Rich and Josh Bridges and Spieler programmed for the Rogue Invitational. It was like, oh shit, this feels
those workouts are awesome.
Yeah, this feels like CrossFit.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, one thing that they're missing is, like, the programming right now, I shouldn't say Dave, but the programming right now seems like it's, above the ability level of most people, minus like the top 5. So, like, you see the top 5 substantially separate themselves from pretty much everybody else in most of the workouts. And then everybody else is kind of like lagging behind. And you'll have like an outlier here and there that sneaks up into the top 5. But for the most part, like, it's not, people aren't seeing people struggle, and there's not like maybe this is like this isn't a full thought process on this yet, but like, if you had tighter races where it's like, you can't fuck this up or you're going to be like in 20th place, like one small mistake is a drop in 20 points. I think it would be more exciting to watch the games than seeing, Frazier or Tia always constantly winning, because they're just that much better. And now it's Moderno's just that much better than everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't have, it doesn't have to be somebody that high profile, but just somebody who's been in the space long enough to be a quality resource for program. I just think he needs to have more people instead of just himself.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
And I think you'd have more fun games. You'd have like probably a whole new like modality of an event. Like, Chris Henshaw even gives ideas for events that are pretty cool about the running and then like the falling off. That'd be sick to see. Wadapalooza kind of did that with rowing, and that was awesome. I thought the event was going to be super stupid, but it was cool.
Which one?
I was on the edge of my sheet. They had the row race, and there was like a rowboat programmed, and on the screens it showed the boat, and if it caught you, you fell, and the boat gradually got faster.
That's right.
And that, I thought that was going to be so boring, but it was really, really neat to watch the screen and watch the athletes and watch the screen and see people like fall off and show their names and stuff like that. That was really cool.
I mean, with everything in life, like, the more people you get together and build a solid team with those people together, like the cooler things you're able to do,
Yeah.
like more people or teams always produce better results than just a solo individual, if that makes sense.
And he may have people he talks to and stuff, but I don't see it.
That might be some behind the scenes stuff, but
yeah,
it seems like your biggest qualm though is like injuries.
Well, it's not injuries. It's just like I want them to test fitness, not like who can handle the most volume or like who has the strongest joints genetically. You know what I mean?
But if they were to, in theory, if you were to test fitness, there would be a subset of workouts that they've determined what fitness are or what fitness is, but that's not their definition of fitness. Like if they were to quote test fitness, they'd have a 2K row, a sprint, a lift. It'd be like what Dubai was going to do in 2020, where it was like 12 different modalities that were all single modality stuff. And like, that was like a freestanding handstand hold, a max bar muscle ups, a deadlift, a snatch, like a 2K rows, all single modality things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But their definition of fitness is constantly varied, like pretty much chaos. Constantly varied functional movements executed at high intensity. That's what it is.
Oh, look at you.
Brainwashed. So like with that definition, you can test whatever you want in whatever order you want,
Yeah. It's just like, if you look at the MAC semifinal, like if you're going to have a MAC snatch, I feel like it should be the first event because that's the safest way to do it, in my opinion. And you saw awesome, like people throwing up some crazy numbers and the crowd was going insane and the athletes felt good. And it was just neat to watch. It wasn't like, oh man, my legs are so roasted from the whatever event and my elbow hurts now and stuff like that. It's like, I'm fresh. I'm going to max. It's going to be awesome. And then you can go and test the cardiovascular side of things.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, they need to come up with some new format to test Olympic lifting. And Dave, like to his credit, he actually does a pretty good job of that with like the clean and the snatch events from the last couple of years. It just seems like he wants to make those. So like his thing, I listened to a podcast with him one time. He's like, I want to make sure it's a spectacle. So like imagine running 40 people through one snatch bar, like on a platform. Like that would take for fucking ever. That event would be like an all-day event. So he has to wait until the cuts to get that event out of the way. And he wants to do like that tiebreaker. So that's kind of, I would assume that is the reasoning behind why he has to wait to do that max snatch until later in the weekend.
Yeah, well, that's where you need to bring in other people to see like what they would think is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree.
Like why can't they just have like a revolving line of people in one bar in the center of the stadium?
Why can't they set up 2 or 3 bars?
Yeah, like I guess I haven't programmed for CrossFit Games, obviously. But if you're having trouble figuring something out, like why wouldn't you just consult with more people?
But who says he's having trouble and who says he thinks he's having trouble?
I guess. I don't know. I guess I'm imposing my will on what he's doing because I like to control things, but I can't do that. So now I'm just going to complain on the internet. Yeah,
I mean that's technically what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest though, like I don't disagree. Like I think like you've seen when there's a committee when Josh Bridges and Chris Wheeler programmed the workouts, like they were fun as like it felt like CrossFit again back from like 2010 to 14, I think is when things started to kind of, after 2014 is when things kind of started to repeat themselves at the games and there wasn't as much variety. It seemed like, or the creativity behind the programming was not quite as much. And I just like, it would be cool to, contact some of these like bigger events, like your some of these bigger events, like the MAC would program awesome workouts. And like the other thing too is like they get rid of like they don't do a service to the team side of things. Like the team side of things could be way freaking cooler than the individual
Oh yeah.
side.
Yeah,
Like,
team is for sure a second fiddle.
Yeah. The issue is like what we were saying before though, like when you bring a team together, there things can be accomplished that cannot be accomplished by one individual. So you could do cooler things with 4-person team than you could with the individual. They just sideline the teams and don't freaking
The teams are like there just to keep people in the stands until the individuals come out.
Basically,
But it doesn't have to be that way. You can make
No.
it. I mean, you're not going to make it just as cool as individuals because it is neat to have like your guy that or your girl that you're rooting for and you go, you know what I mean? But like,
here's the thing. Every major sport in the U.S. is a team sport, minus like golf and tennis. But I don't really know how much viewership those have, so I don't know the stats on those. But every major sport is in the U.S. is a team sport. Your biggest demographic is the U.S. You can also, so like if they were to divvy up game spots to all 50 states and give a game spot to all 50 states, now each state is sending a team to the games. So instead of having these random gyms that go to the games every single year and like their following is literally only just their gym population of 100 people, now that team gets an automatic bid every single year. You can recruit however you want. You can field your team however you want. But now you can start doing community outreach events. You can start building the team in the community like a traditional sports team. And now you'll have people that are following the team for life. Like, for example, LA Lakers, once LeBron leaves or once Kobe, retired or Magic Johnson retired, you still had
Kobe didn't retire.
Lakers fans that stayed on as Lakers fans. You do the same thing for teams in CrossFit. And you can still, just like the NBA, you still promote individuals and drive up individuals on a team. Like LeBron is one of the most popular athletes of all time. You can do that with a CrossFit athlete on a team. And you can also highlight how good people are at the games by just doing individual workouts. You get like, let's say they do 4 individual workouts at the games. Each team member has to do at least one of those workouts, and you have to select your team member based off of whatever like you decide is best. So now you're highlighting the individual component of the sport while still doing team workouts. And you can, like, if somebody crushes somebody, you're like, holy shit, this person's amazing at CrossFit. Now all of a sudden they get publicity. Their name starts to kind of rise up the leaderboard,
Yeah. I just don't think that I feel like all the media, I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of CrossFit is self-promotion. Like, CrossFit Mayhem, I don't know how much Rich spends on, like, all his stuff, but would people go and care about his team as much if he didn't promote himself like he does,
Like Rich promotes himself, or
like Rich has a YouTube channel and an Instagram and blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, he's Rich Froning, but like, I wonder if he would have such a following on his team if he just left all the promotion to CrossFit.
Well, I mean, yeah, you would have to, like, if you were getting a team spot, you would have to definitely self-promote for sure. But like, and I don't know how the NBA does it, where it's like you buy into the NBA association or whatever, NFL, you buy into the NFL. But I'm sure there's a way where you can start making a true league or association or whatever.
That would be cool, though. I like that idea. So you'd have like Team Georgia, Team Louisiana, Team Washington. That'd be cool.
Then you get a whole state behind you versus your 150 population gym and whatever Instagram followers the individuals on the team might have.
That would be really neat, actually.
Yep, that's my grand idea for CrossFit.
Grand idea. So would you have them at the CrossFit Games? Would you have 2 games, like separate dates, one individual and one teams?
Yeah, I'd run them separately. Yeah, but I would make people declare at the beginning of the year what they wanted to do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that would be cool.
You could make way more money Way more
You
money.
would make it. Well, you have 2 games.
Well, you have that, but I mean, team sports are where everybody, like even soccer's the biggest sport in the world. It's a team sport. People want to see teams. They don't necessarily like track is dying out. Like people don't really want to watch track, like track and field until the Olympics, but that's it, This CrossFit's a little bit more entertaining than track. But like if you start doing team stuff where you're having to move odd objects and communicate with people and like come up with strategy, like people will watch that a lot more than they would individuals.
And you would have like a semi per state, I guess, and have so many teams compete for the state spot.
No, I think you just have you designate some gym in the state, biggest gym in the state, maybe you guys get one spot to the games, or do some sort of like, you guys get one spot to this regional. If you come out of this regional, you go to the games, something like that. There's like a stepping stone. So there's 20 teams that go to the games, or 15 teams that go to the games, or something like that.
That'd be cool.
That gym can then recruit whoever they want. So like you could have somebody move to that gym from out of state because they were recruited to that gym. However they want to do that,
That would bring in a bunch of politics into the game for sure.
I mean, there's already politics.
You'd have to schmooze people.
There's already politics in the game.
Yeah, true. That'd be cool. I could get behind
politics.
that.
Start a petition, Kannon.
We shouldn't talk about politics on here. We'll get shadow banned. We're arrested.
I try and not bring those into the business anyway.
Sent to the gulag.
Yep. So what's next? You're coming over to Pensacola, right?
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Like 15 days. Oh yeah. These events are short and sweet.
Yeah.
And heavy.
You were pretty happy when they came out, or when they were announced, huh?
I don't know if they have another event they're releasing, but I hope there's more than just 2 Metcons in a lift. I know it's just a single day, but what?
Who's on your team?
Me, Hunter, H. Breezy, fellow Blacklisted athlete, Brooke, also Blacklisted athlete. I don't know her last name. Sorry, Brooke. I'm not good with names. And then Kelsey Williams, who was my gym owner and also insanely fit. I don't know where she came from.
What gym does she own?
CrossFit Carrollton in Carrollton, Georgia, West Georgia.
What's in Carrollton?
Me.
Yeah, well, I was just about to say you.
My dog. And that's all there needs to be.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah, we have good food here. We have great restaurants.
Okay.
And I have an idea for a sick CrossFit competition one day. It's going to be great.
Are you trying to?
Each event is in a different location in Carrollton.
Oh, like a traveling.
Yeah. That's what would be my selling point to the board of Carrollton people, is like, we're going to show off Carrollton. But what I'm really doing is just making really cool events. But I need approval. So I would schmooze. But we have this big, it's called the Green Belt. And it's like just a trail. It looks like a little mini road. I'd have like a run or a bike race on that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a bike race. I'd have to get some insurance because people would fall and injure themselves, and I don't want to get sued. But I'd do that. And then there's this auditorium on the square, which is the center of the town. I'd have a max lift on that guy. It'd be awesome. Dude, it's cool. It's outdoors. It's like a turf field, and then it's got this huge tent over it, and then it's got a stage just big enough for a platform. I'd have a max lift on that guy. It'd be awesome. I'd have him have a walkout song. Oh yeah. It'd be cool.
That'd be pretty legit. Okay, so would you make each individual traverse to the next event?
Yes.
So like your bike race takes place here, your next your next workout takes place at this time at this location, figure out how to get there. Can't use a car.
No, I would give them directions. They could use a car.
Oh, so you wouldn't have them like, hey, you have to run to this next location?
No. That's a pretty good idea though. Like, I don't know where the green belt connects to the square, if it does or not, but they could like ride their bikes to there as an event and then like have an hour and then do the lift. That'd be pretty cool, I guess. But
Yeah.
no, originally I just had them like event 1 takes place here at this address, blah blah blah. Event 2 takes place here at this address, and I'd give them plenty of time. Like I understand that driving is annoying, but it's cool. It's like, it's not just this random field these people found in the middle of a state park and thought I'll have a competition here. It's like somebody, it's neat. I think it would be neat for people to like, I think it'd be neat for them to see my vision of like, this is a really cool area of town. We should do something with this. And this is a really cool area of town. We should do something with this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on like doing it almost like some sort of adventure race where like you have to go like X amount of miles, however you want, like on a bike or run or whatever. But along the way, you're performing some of these events at like these different stages. So like you have a bike race from this point to this point on the belt line. You have a lift at the auditorium for one of your events. You have a CrossFit workout at another section of the event. And so like then it's like total time, and then each event is like a scored event that does something to your score. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, that's a really neat idea.
But you just want to do like
I want a good solid test of fitness. I don't want somebody who's good at a bike to come out and blow everybody out of the water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you do.
That'd be kind of hypocritical of me to make them do so many miles bike to a max lift without any prep time.
Well, I mean, you get prep
when
time.
I'm sitting here complaining about dangerous events.
That's true.
I want the athletes to have like as much, like not as much prep time, but I want them to be like 100%. You know what I mean? Like,
you want to see big weights lifted.
Well, yeah, and I want to see people like recovered and ready to rock, not like, oh my God, my legs are absolutely roasted, but because we only have so long in this facility, we have to hurry the next event up or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't like that, you know? I think you should have like a set, like a good 2 hours at least between events, like an hour to eat, chill out, and an hour to warm back up. Like, rushing things is annoying. I was at a competition. I don't remember where. I'm not going to say where I was at because that's rude. But they were running behind. That's not my fault. You're running behind. But they rushed us from a heavy squatting event into a max lift event, or a max heavyweight for max reps event, which was super stupid. And like everybody, there was like a 15-minute turnaround. It was dumb. I don't like that. It's annoying. So I would want to give, if I was going to run a competition, I'd want to stick to my guns. I'd give them plenty of time. I'd give them location, plenty of time to get there. It'd probably be a 2-day event, so that, because I know it's time consuming to have them in different locations, but like, I think it'd be worth it.
Okay. So when is this event happening?
When I'm retired from CrossFit.
So next year?
No. What do you say?
I'm just kidding.
Are we breaking up?
So how long do you think your body's going to last? 45?
I am going to last until 33.
Oh,
maybe 34, depending.
Oh, you're going to be done at 30.
That's my prediction. If I haven't made it by 34, I'm done.
Okay. But you kind of age up at 35.
Maybe.
Like a whole
am I still going to be passionate about it after 9 years of this? I don't know. Maybe. If I am, cool, and I feel good, I'll keep doing it. But I mean, if I haven't made it to the games on a team or an individual by 34 or 35, it's probably not in the cards for me. And I'm okay with that. No, I'm not. That would drive me insane, keep me up at night for years, actually. Probably need some therapy.
Good to know. Good to know.
But then when I'm done with CrossFit, because my old wrestling coach always said, if you chase 2 rabbits, both will escape. So one of those rabbits is CrossFit games, team or individual. And one of those rabbits is dominating the world of competitive CrossFit competitions and I can't chase both. I can only have one rabbit right now.
Okay. And the rabbit right now is the CrossFit Games?
Yeah.
Okay. And you guys are setting up a team down in Carrollton, right?
Oh, yeah.
Who's on that?
Classified.
Can't let the competition take you guys out.
They're just a bunch of I don't want them to know. I don't want them to know. No, we're still figuring some things out.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So, I don't want to say anything and then hurt some feelings and blah blah blah.
Right on. Right on. Well, that's cool. That'll be fun. Do you prefer team or individual?
Individual.
Why?
More exciting.
Why?
Because it's me.
That's what?
Cool. I like team. Don't get me wrong. Like, you've sold me. I like team stuff. I like team workouts, and I think that I'm built for team metabolically. Is that the word?
Physiologically?
Physiologically, I'm built for team stuff. I like team. I enjoy it. But like, if I won the games, if I did good in an event on a team versus an individual, I'd probably have more pride in the individual. Just to be honest.
Why?
Because it was me, and I relied on me,
and not on other people,
and not others, which I don't mind. I mean, like I said, I don't mind. It's just there's nothing. I like team stuff. We do team training every week. It's fun. I'm excited to do team stuff this year, and for like the next couple of years, really. Like, I'm looking forward to it. But bias is individual for sure. I mean, it's probably because I only did individual sports. I've only wrestled. That's it. So it's probably just because I'm more comfortable.
Do you think you would have liked being a swimmer?
No. That's a beta sport. We just go get in the water in my onesie.
You might have people messaging you on Instagram now wanting to fight.
Oh, yeah. I say that in my sport of choice, I was in a leotard. So, I mean, there's plenty of firepower for them too to snap back at me. So,
yeah, groping other men.
Yep, balls and everything.
Sweet. How far did you get, or what level did you wrestle at?
I wrestled D2 at Shorter University.
Where's that?
Rome, Georgia.
Oh, okay. So you stayed in Georgia your whole life?
Mm-hmm.
You've never moved away?
Nope. It'd be cool to move, but we have a bunch of family out here, so we're going to stay.
Yep.
For the time being.
Stay around their family. What schools did you wrestle when you were wrestling D2?
I mean, we wrestled D1 teams. I wrestled against Oklahoma and Penn University, and it's been a while now. We wrestled a bunch of D1 schools. We wrestled everyone. Our team was, at the time, as NAI, so we were kind of a warm up for Oklahoma because they were pretty gnarly. They were top dogs back then.
In the South?
Yeah. I mean, I guess you'd consider that the South. Wrestling was never big in the South. Football's big in the South. Wrestling is big up north.
Yeah. And like Minnesota and Iowa.
Yeah. I mean, It's cold, so everybody wants to stay indoors. You can do that and wrestle.
Yeah. So how would you guys or Oklahoma compare to like a D1 school up north? Like, what's the difference in ability level there?
I don't know. Like I said, wrestling is individual. So Cornell University they put out one of the greatest wrestlers arguably of all time, Kyle Dake, and it's Cornell University. It's an Ivy League school. Like, where did he come from? And then Harvard put out their first D1 national champion in decades. And I don't remember what year it was, but I mean, there's dynasties. Like Penn State University always has the best team, I think. And so Penn State University is like Alabama of football.
Okay.
and they put out great wrestlers. Was that your question?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of explains it because I was just wondering.
The team that's going to win is either Penn State or it's Iowa. That's what it is. Always.
But it's like if you're looking at it from a team side of things, but you might have individual wrestlers that are just like monsters that like you're saying like Cornell or Harvard.
Just random people. Like there's freaks, there's monsters out there. You know, they could be on some podunk random D1 team somewhere, but they have maybe like a bad attitude or something, but some desperate coach was like signing them anyways, and they go and win a national championship for some school you never heard of. You know, like that exists.
What, like, because there's, so like it would be like they're in a certain weight class, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like they got kicked out of a school or couldn't sign with the school or something like that.
Maybe they like, I don't know. Like we got some, we had some pretty good athletes on our team that were supposed to be D1, but they had issues. They didn't ever last long because they have, you know, they didn't act right. But it was really neat to see these freaks wrestle some D2 schools.
So
like, where are you from?
You guys were like the last chance to you of wrestling.
Yeah, well, we were new. We were brand new. Our program had only been around for a couple of years, so we were still trying to build a program, I guess. We didn't have. I mean, Shorter. I was in high when Shorter created the wrestling team, and then when I graduated, I went there to wrestle. So they had been around long, so they had to pretty much scrape to get a team together.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many people were on your guys' team?
Like maybe 60 people, but you only have so many weight. I think you only have I think you only have 9 weight classes or 10
out of 60 people.
Yeah,
there's like roughly 6 people a weight class.
So you have like ideally you'd have 3 like first string, second string, third string, and in the room there everybody would just wrestle each other, and then you'd have wrestle offs.
Okay. Do you think weight classes should be implemented into CrossFit?
No.
Why?
Because fitness, if I am a caveman and a 120-pound fella is a caveman, and there's a tree trunk on top of food, the bigger guy's going to get that off. So he's more fit.
Is that not survival, not fitness?
What is survival other than fitness?
I mean, I think we're pretty much at a point in our life where we don't have to worry so much about survival, so we can actually philosophize and discuss fitness.
Yeah. I guess my definition of fitness is who can survive the best. Who's going to survive the best?
So your definition of fitness is literally survival.
Yeah, like who is the most capable of surviving in the face of physical challenge? You know what I mean?
So your definition would incorporate killing people then?
No. There's no violence. It's just like, I mean, like,
who can gather the most berries?
Who's gonna climb? You know, who can climb a coconut tree the easiest to get a coconut? You know, the fitter person.
You would want an event. Who could climb the coconut tree the fastest?
You're making this too literal. I'm just saying my definition of fitness is like who could survive the best, I guess. You know?
So circling back to your earlier statements about tests of volume and pretty much survival, that would fit into your definition of fitness.
No, I don't think so. I have a very loose definition of fitness. It's just like what I assume would make the person most equipped for survival. But
so lifting a 350-pound barbell overhead equips an individual for survival?
Better than somebody who can only lift 180 because you're stronger. You're literally stronger.
What
So
if that
if a bear attacks your camp, you're gonna have a better chance of fighting the bear because you're stronger.
That's a very specific scenario, though.
People are gonna think I'm crazy when they watch this.
Oh, they'll listen to it. They won't watch it.
What?
More than likely, they'll listen to it. They won't watch it. So your fitness is a floating definition, pending on the scenario.
No, I mean I guess there's fitness in terms of survival and fitness in terms of sport. So yeah, I see what you're saying. But like the volume thing is not. I mean, volume is definitely like a test of fitness, but there's a way to do it safely.
How?
Not at the end of the CrossFit Games.
Not what at the end of the CrossFit Games?
A workout testing volume tolerance.
So you think
what was it called? Atalanta?
You think that the CrossFit Games should start with the highest amount of volume and gradually decrease the amount of volume over the course of the weekend?
No, because then, well, I don't know. There's just a way to do it. I don't think I don't know how. I'm not saying I have all the answers. I'm just saying like testing like a high volume workout in the games is unsafe and stupid. But you also can't really test like a short explosive event because their CNS is probably roasted.
So outside of hand tearing, who got injured at that event?
Which one?
Atalanta.
No one.
Okay.
I'm not.
So they all survived?
They all survived.
So they're all fit.
I'm just saying it was a stupid test. It was just dumb. Like, I would have liked to do an MRI of all their bodies and just seen what kind of inflammation they had from that. I mean, it's compounding. Like, that's not going to promote a long, healthy career for CrossFit. Not that CrossFit's any sport is safe. I just think I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm saying there's a better way to test the fitness, I think, personally. Not that I know how to do it. I don't claim to know how to do it. I just think he needs more people around who have experienced the CrossFit Games or CrossFit competitively and can give him ideas and like feedback that he wouldn't know. Like, I don't know. Just feedback. Because like Ben Smith might see an event and say, hey, there was a ton of hinging in the previous event. You might not want to do a max deadlift for this event, or you might not want to do like running after all like this big bounding test because you might compromise their meniscus or something like that. I don't know. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, but aren't injuries a part of sport?
Yes. But CrossFit is unique in sport. You're testing because you're testing human capability. It's not like it's not the skill and then fitness, it's the fitness.
It is, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're not
you can't approach it.
The skill component of it isn't as high as other sports are.
Right. You can be good at CrossFit and not have all the skills perfected. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like it's just different. Like I don't have a good description, but you're genuinely pushing human bodies like machines to their highest level. You need to do it intelligently so that you don't, cause somebody to blow out their elbow. I mean, Brooke was, maybe I'm just salty. Not that I'm a huge Brooke fan. She was doing good and she got taken out of a test of fitness that she transferred for because of dumb programming, in my opinion.
So you don't like Brooke Wells is what you're saying?
I don't dislike Brooke Wells. I'm not just like, what I'm saying is not a simp. Like, I'm just saying.
Shit. Lightning just struck outside my window.
Nice.
Damn, that was crazy.
It's raining here too.
Is it? Okay, so you are a Brooke Wells fan.
Yes, I'm a Brooke Wells fan. I'm a fan. Yep, totally.
Right on. Okay, so your big thing is the fact that they put a max lift at the end of the weekend, and there's probably a higher chance of injury with the volume accumulation from
Right.
the week.
And even if you're gonna do it, you have to go in the other room. Even if you're gonna do that, you don't. I mean, you could have maybe not had a pegboard event before that. You could have changed that to like protect their elbows a little more.
Yeah, you're not
like
you're
that's
like,
that's what Dave doesn't understand is like if you ever done pegboards, it's a lot of pressure on your elbows. Taylor, I can't focus.
For those of you that don't know, Kannon has massive ADD.
It's bad. Taylor, please go in the other room or hang up. Seriously, I can't focus.
So those are the types of things that you're saying that
I'm saying yes. He does. He probably can't do a pegboard. So I mean, like I have nothing against Dave at all. I just think that. I mean, I think he's a decent programmer, but he needs to have somebody in his ear that has felt the games. In my opinion, has felt how smooth
knows the nuance of like, hey, people's elbows might be messed up. CrossFit elbows are pretty traditionally already in a compromised
exactly. Position. So maybe don't do the max snatch or do the snatch before the pegboard event or something. But that's the thing. Like I'm not saying that it needs to be uprooted and redone by somebody. I just think Dave needs folks in his ears that are like, hey, that's probably a bad idea to do max snatch after pegboards because their elbows, like you said, would be pretty trashed, and that's dangerous.
Yeah. But what if that's what he wanted to test was elbow stability?
I mean, is that a test of fitness?
Could be. It's constantly varied. It's functional.
The test shouldn't rely on joint strength. It should rely on musculature, endurance, and cardiovascular capabilities, and lactic threshold, and blah blah blah. Not how much tension can your kneecap hold before it explodes.
Is powerlifting not a component of those things?
Yes, I guess it is. But there's a point. There's a line. There's a box. Not that I'm a fan of boxes, but what happens is.
Wait, did you say not that I'm a fan of boxes?
Like limits.
Yeah.
There's a limit. Yeah. There's a line.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. And like everything's a learning process too. So maybe he learns from this year and doesn't put highly.
It's been years.
I mean, yeah, it has.
It's been literal years.
Yeah, but I mean, how many? It would be interesting to go back and look at the number of athletes that withdraw for injury in the games, because I know there had the year of the pec tears at regionals.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of people. So it'd be interesting to go.
Yeah.
And see the withdrawals from the games for injury.
That was the year they had all the dumbbells.
Yeah, it was all dumbbells. Right? Yeah.
So that's like the thing they did prior to that was they did that play on Murph with the handstand push-ups and all that stuff. So, that's a lot of tension here, I guess. And then you go and do ring dips.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
you're fatiguing it, and then you're going and like putting a ton of pressure here. Like, I don't know. Maybe there is no way to perfectly program CrossFit because it is a dangerous sport, but I don't know. I just get frustrated. I just get frustrated when I see athletes get injured catastrophically when I think it could have been avoided. Like sometimes you can't avoid it. Like it's just what it is.
Who's to say that she wouldn't have had that happen in training though? At some point in time.
Yeah. I guess.
I
don't know. I don't have an answer for you.
There's definitely.
I can tell you though, like if I was in the room with Dave and he was showing me his I would have definitely said, "Hey, no pegboards for max snatch. That's
stupid." Okay.
I guess that's the root of my argument.
We're gonna title this Kannon calls out Dave Castro.
Please don't. I'm gonna rewatch this and just be like, dude, you sound like an absolute moron. Like my little analogies sound stupid after I say them. I don't have a filter, so I'm probably saying some ridiculous things. I can't help it. I'm an open book.
It's real. It's what the people want to hear, Kannon.
I give the people what they want.
Also, our first podcast with Hunter was not good, so I'm sure this one
was not.
way better. Mine is not floating outside my window. What'd you say?
What? No, about the podcast with Hunter. That was crazy. That's a forbidden episode.
Okay, so you would not put weight classes into CrossFit because CrossFit is a test of survival.
No, it's just that's stupid. Like,
what about this? The analogy or the comparison between the amount of power output that Brent Fikowski has to do to perform one pull-up relative to the amount of power that Noah Olson has to do to perform one pull-up. And so when you have a workout like Mary, where there's well over 300, Brent's power output is significantly higher than Noah Olson's, but his score would dictate otherwise.
Well, that's kind of the beauty of the sport because even like, that isn't a good workout for Brent, but Brent makes it up in many, many other ways and is very successful. Running, swimming events.
Technically, Brent's power output would be higher in a run event also because he's moving more body mass.
But he's covering more distance per step, right?
With more, not necessarily. His stride length might be shorter than Noah's.
And like swimming, he would cover more per stroke, right? Because he's taller.
Swimming was probably a little bit different, but that's one event over the weekend. There's 3 to 4 events that have running in it.
Well, clearly he makes up for it because he does well for himself.
Yeah, I'm not saying he doesn't. And the events at the games definitely play him a little bit more favor. Where did he finish this year?
Third, maybe. I don't know. Justin, Pat. Was it Brent in third? I don't remember.
I mean, I think that the power output,
but you could even say that, I guess, with weight classes, like sports self-select. They're gonna a sport is gonna choose who is built the best for it. But they're not gonna have weight classes in gymnastics. It's just gonna be like, this is the obstacle. Whoever is built best for this is the best at it.
Yeah, but they have weight classes in weightlifting. And they have weight classes in wrestling.
Yeah.
And they have weight classes in rowing also.
Yeah, but those are but those are like singular sports. CrossFit is an amalgamation of sports. Yeah. So you really, I don't think you'd be able to. I think it'd be neat for sure. Like if there was like a 200+ pound CrossFit competition, you see some freaking crazy weights.
Well, I think it would be 225 plus.
Or something big. That'd be cool. But I don't know. Maybe it would work. I don't know. I just like the thought of like you have this enormous pool and the only filter is who's the best. Would people even want to watch the small guys go, because they'd be, they would probably get zero love. Nothing against them.
So so there's another thing is, what does that tell you about the sport then? People want to see
big numbers.
Right. And what can you do with
So why would you make a snatch after 12 events? Why would you make it the first event when people are fresh?
If everything's self-selecting, why would you not just self-select for individuals that can lift big weights?
What?
So if the sport self-selects, like you were saying, for gymnastics specifically, and people want to see individuals who lift big weights, and the sport is constantly varied, so you can have biases to it, why would you not just self-select for individuals who can lift big weights?
I don't know.
You see what I'm saying?
Somewhat.
Instead,
again,
there's
but say it in dumb redneck.
so right now they're self-selecting for like a 5'8" individual, roughly,
About
to be
195 pounds, roughly.
yeah, to be successful at the games. But if they changed the subset of tests, they could select for
A bigger
athlete to win.
Right.
You see
So
what I'm saying?
like, yeah. So like, if you
or
had 50
perform
pound
well.
dumbbells, you bump up to like 80-pound dumbbells, and if you had weight vests, you go to like 40-pound weight vests instead of 20-pound weight vests. So you'd have to be bigger. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't know if the weight vest would come into play, but like pretty much just lifting heavier loads for denser volume.
That'd be cool. That'd be good for me.
I mean, I would be a fan of it too, obviously.
I would be a huge fan. I could put some more weight on, get huge.
But, so like even still, let's say that a 5'8" individual were to lift, let's say like 365 pounds, and a 6'2" individual were to, like, this is a back squat. Back squat's 365 pounds for a set of 5, and a 6'2" individual at 225 plus back squats 365 pounds for a set of 5. The 225 pound individual that is 6'2" will have a greater power output lifting that same load than a 5'8" individual will.
Yeah.
So that's my quarrel, is like if you're measuring for power output, which in theory is what their ultimate equation comes down to, there needs to be a better measurement for that power output than what is given.
Like add points per weight or whatever, maybe.
Like actually measure the amount of power that each athlete is. I mean, it would be almost impossible for the CrossFit Games to do, but measure the amount of power output that an athlete is performing on a given workout.
That'd be cool. Do you think it'd be fair to have like height bonuses?
Well, that would be incorporated because distance is incorporated into like
okay,
something like that.
The little guys would be pissed off.
Yeah,
but
I mean, maybe
it'd be nice to have a 4-inch femur when you're doing thrusters.
Like maybe they would be pissed off, but maybe they would also elicit. I don't know. Like I haven't seen an equation for, what Noah's total power output was on something like Mary versus what Brent Fikowski's total power output was on something like Mary, and vice versa. What Brent's total power output was on the barbell run ladders versus, Maderno's power output on the barbell run ladders.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm sure you could calculate that. I just don't want to.
Yeah, you'd probably have to have like a machine do it for you.
Well, you could probably roughly estimate the amount that the barbell's moving, and then you could estimate the amount of power output that each athlete's putting out on each run, like if you get the time for each run, and then from there you could probably calculate the amount of power.
That would be really confusing for the fans, I think.
It would not be fan friendly. No,
it would not be fan friendly at all. Like it would be.
Well, maybe, but maybe they just. Maybe
they'd be weird to see like.
Oh shit! Maderno's crossed the line first, but Fikowski won the event.
Fikowski won the event. Yeah, that would be really very strange.
For sure.
But I see what you're saying.
It wouldn't necessarily be a race anymore, which is what's fun about it.
Yeah.
But more balanced events would be more fun.
Yeah. Like have not.
I guess that's like originally when I was just talking on my ass. I guess that's what I was saying was the events aren't necessarily balanced, and that's what makes it less fun. Whereas in the past, it seemed like they have been more balanced across the board.
In terms of like height and weight and all that stuff.
Yeah, like they threw a softball in 2013. Like nobody throws a softball in softball.
I want to throw a shot put.
Yeah, some sort of throwing event. Like they had a max farmer's carry. Like that's an obscure event. A strict chest bar pull up. Although that one wasn't.
They did a strict bar pull up.
they did a weighted strict chest bar pull up, but that one wasn't
That's dumb.
judged very well. A lot of people were frog kipping.
What'd they get?
I think Rich was at like 120 pounds and he won the event or something like that.
Oh, it was max weighted chest muscle.
Yeah. So it was like you had like 1 minute to build to a max. It was actually a pretty cool event. 1 minute to build to a max weighted strict pull up, max distance like jug carry, and then like farmer jug carry, and then I think it was like a max distance handstand walk or something.
Handstand walking has evolved so much.
Yeah.
Daniel Brandon, like, I bet in like 5 years you see like everybody walking like that on their hands.
Oh yeah, I mean probably in 2.
Or yeah, 2. That was insane.
Yeah, it's good shoulder mobility right there. But you want to wrap this up? We've been here for about an hour. So
I'm excited to hear people call me out on certain quotes that I've said that make no sense.
Yeah, you were a little aggressive on some things, so that should be fun. What was your Instagram again?
Kannon CM with a K.
Sick. They can.
I'm happy to debate. I'm man enough to admit when I was wrong.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to debate Kannon, there's his Instagram. If you guys
are a very nice person.
Yeah, he is a giant teddy bear. If you guys are listening on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or one of the other hosting platforms, please give us a follow on Instagram, blacklisted.hq. We put out some content on there. If you guys are watching on YouTube, give us a follow on Instagram as well. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you guys don't mind. And then I think that is everything I need to say. Sweet. Thanks for coming on, Kim.
You're welcome.
And we'll catch you guys next time.
All right. See ya.